evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris is back for some more Hearthstone Arena action. Now, I didn't even know this, but my last Arena video that I posted was my 50th Arena since the account wiped, which is a very special number, of course. It's halfway to 100 and a multiple of 10 and one more than 49 and all sorts of other fun things. Anyway, I thought that, after passing the 50 Arena mark, I thought it'd be time for, a fresh start, a new beginning. And incidentally, at this time, a few people have been giving me feedback that they would actually enjoy watching videos where maybe Papa Boris doesn't do so well. One of the reasons I haven't been posting videos of me doing poorly is that the reason that I made this channel in the first place is that I was kind of frustrated by the fact that a lot of the videos of people playing Hearthstone on YouTube were not very good. They were, don't get me wrong, entertaining and really fun to watch, but not very highly skilled. So I felt like, my channel had a certain standard of quality. Like if I was playing badly or making mistakes or just straight up failing and losing, that people wouldn't want to see it. But it seems like at least some people do want to watch me lose, if only so that, when I win, they didn't see it coming. And so we're going to start a new trend and give it a shot, see how it works. Basically, this is a win or lose recording. I'm going to post this recording whether I do well or badly. And you can confirm this by checking the end of my last video. You can see these were the classes that I had, and this was the same amount of gold that I had. So in order for me to pull off some kind of a hoax would require a really tremendous amount of effort. Now I want to play as Paladin, because Paladin is lots of fun. I don't do the best with Paladin, but I have some of the most fun with Paladin. And I think the reason is I like the slightly different kind of play. Other classes you really do a lot of removal of the enemy creatures. Paladin, not doing so good on the removal front. That means you have to kill the enemy creatures by doing wacky things like buffing your creatures, putting on Divine Shield. And I like the Paladin hero ability. I honestly think that, on turn 2, if you don't have a card to play as Paladin, that hero ability, the putting a 1-1 on the board, is better than any other hero ability in the game. It has the biggest impact of any of the hero abilities, because those 1-1s can really add up. Now, with that said, here in the opening hand, we're going to get a 2-drop here. Obviously, the Angry Chicken is an unplayable card. Either the Pint-Sized Summoner or the Wild Pyromancer. And the Wild Pyromancer is what we call a non-bow. It's a negative combo. The Wild Pyromancer kills all of your recruits. So although it may be a better card than the Pint-Size in the abstract in some cases, we're going to have to take the Pint-Sized Summoner here. Okay, now I'm not a big fan of this weapon. I've never really been that impressed when my opponents played it against me, but we are getting a Premier 4-drop. Let's go ahead and grab the one with the taunts. And here, this is a card I used to not take, although I probably would take it here because this pack is such junk, but Hand of Protection. This is like a 1-mana Assassinate in some cases. 1-mana Assassinate, and the creature that you put it on, attacks the enemy creature rather than dealing some damage to your opponent. So it's kind of like a 1-mana Assassinate if the board is set up right. I think it's really important for Paladins to have this though, because like I said, they don't really have very good removal, especially for higher damage dealing creatures. So this is, this and just in general, Divine Shield granting effects are extremely important for Paladins. Now these are some of the worst cards in the game. I think Eye for an Eye maybe gets my vote for the absolute worst card in Hearthstone, so we'll be happy to grab the Hand of Protection right there. So speaking of the devil, normally here I might have taken the Panda because he's big, or the Frost Elemental because he freezes things, but I'm actually going to take the Argent Protector. I really think it's that important to have effects in your deck that grant Divine Shield, because otherwise your removal suite is lacking. The thing about Paladins is you can't really remove anything until you have 4 mana, because that's when you get Hammer of Wrath and True Silver Champion. Before that, Paladins are very predictable. They just don't have removal at those earlier mana costs. But if you can put Divine Shield on a creature, then run it in, kill something, aha, now you sort of got sort of maybe removal. So that's why the Argent Protector is very important. I rank it kind of like how I'd rank a removal card. I think I'm also going to grab the Panda here over the card drawer, because if I can Panda back the Argent Protector, giving yourself another form or another granting of Divine Shield is just really, really backbreaking against some of your opponents. Okay, well here we have Trash. This guy has kind of actually impressed me, believe it or not, but not enough to actually play him over the Mogushan Warden, which is a very, very strong creature, I think. Okay, well, True Silver Champion, you pretty much always have to take those. Those are just so incredibly good. Here we have an interesting choice between a Silence, which is important, and an Argent Protector. It might be greedy of me, but I'm going to hold out for a Spellbreaker, which is the 4-mana 4/3 with Silence. I just really hate this 2/1 body on the Owl. If this were a weak card, I'd pass it over, but since there's a really good card here, the Divine Shield, I will pass on the Owl here. Alright, not a fan of the Blessed Champion. It's a bit too expensive for the effect, and the Secret Keeper is really unplayable. So we'll grab the Violet Teacher. Got a nice big hole here in our curve at the 3 level. Not filling it here, but the Azure Drake is certainly great. Better than these two random 2-drops. And here, I can't take the Holy Light. It's just no good. Hammer of Wrath. The real problem with Hammer of Wrath is it deals 3 damage, so which is kind of low for 4 mana. Now, sure, it draws you a card, but the amount of damage you're dealing is pretty weak. I'd actually rather take this. It deals 1 less damage than the hammer, and it doesn't draw a card, but it's cheaper, it can be buffed, and it deals, the 1 less damage will sometimes, of course, really crush me, but I think the 2 less mana cost is definitely worth it. Okay, well, here we have a really good card. We could take Blood Knight, which is a combo with the Argent Protector. But the Sword of Justice is just incredibly good. It makes even your humble 1/1 recruits just so good. I think this weapon would be good for any hero, but especially for the Paladin, whose hero ability puts free minions onto the board. Getting +1/+1 to all your minions is just such a strong synergy that you really have to grab it. Okay, so we can grab some late game here with the Archmage or the Gurubashi Berserker, but I'm kind of tempted by the Grizzly just because I really need 3-drops kind of badly. On turn 2, playing a 2-mana, playing your little 1/1 as the hero ability, that's totally fine, but turn 3 it'd be nice to have stuff to play, and these are not really premier late game cards here, so I'm actually going to go ahead and grab up the Grizzly right there. Okay, so here we can get the Vernchico Mercenary, but I'm going to take Humility. It's the Paladin's only out against really big stuff. I think it's really, really important to have. You have to rate this as high as you would a removal card for another class, so I'll take it over the other guys. Noble Sacrifice is perhaps the only playable Paladin secret, but it's no Flesh-Eating Ghoul, so we're going to go ahead and grab that. It's a very, very good 3-drop, and here we go. So Hand of Protection, sad to pass on that, but we're going to make sure we have at least 1 silence in the deck, and that is really the best silence. And these 2-drops, playing one of these over playing your 1/1, it's not that much better. Not worth, passing on a Chillwind Yeti for. Okay, now I can be really greedy here, grab a 3rd of these. Problem if you have too many is that you might actually, just have a handful of them and be wasting the Battle Cry. So I have to really consider this carefully over the Harvest Golem. Now, paying 1 extra mana over the Hand of Protection I think is definitely worth it to get a 2/2 body. Just a question of whether I want the Harvest Golem. So I've got currently just really 2 3-mana creatures, the Ghoul and the Grizzly. Sword of Justice, I'll also play it on turn 3, but it doesn't put something onto the board. Ah, boy. How much do I want Divine Shields? I mean, this is getting to be a lot of those guys. Yeah, let's grab the Golem. This is a really premier 3-drop. If it were anything less good, I would have taken the Argent Protector again. Okay, well, this is all trash, so we have to take Noble Sacrifice. This is the only playable card in this pack. Okay, well, this is a rather unfortunate card. I really don't want this Blessed Champion. So we're going to grab Mind Control Tech. Sometimes it'll give you a coin flip to save a lost game. We're going to take another Humility here as an out against big creatures, and Blessing a King is a spectacular. Turns the humblest of creatures into something really great. Here we're going to grab the Aldor Peacekeeper for another Humility effect. I think it's even better than the Pine-Size Summoner for Paladins. Now we need big stuff here, unfortunately. So we'll grab the Panda. It's the biggest thing here. Yeah, Stormwind Champion, very good with Paladins. Buffs up all your little 1/1s. We'll take the Bluegill Warrior for some more removal. I don't want an overpriced Iron for Grizzly, although with the Sword of Justice and the 1 True Silver Champion, this guy is free. Is that worth the risk? No, this is basically removal. I'm going to take it. Oh, crap. I really cannot catch a break here for some endgame. I really regret passing on the Gurubashi Berserker and on the Archmage now. Let's go ahead and grab this guy. Healing is nice. I have enough Humility effects, I think. I mean, I've got 2 of these. Well, and I do have the Aldor Peacekeeper, so I have 3 Humility effects, and then I also have 3 Divine Shields. I think we're okay on those. Let's grab some life gain here. Hope for the best. Well, this is a tricky call, because I am lacking for late game, so the Lord of the Arena is tempting, but the Shattered Sun Cleric is just so freaking good. Yeah, we're going to take it. I really can't see taking Lord of the Arena there. Alright, True Silver Champion is very good, even better than the Humility and stuff. Here I'm really happy to grab Stampeding Kodo. It's a bit late game-ish, and it'll kill a creature if I'm lucky. So we have an interesting deck. It's a little bit lower curved than I would like, but we've got the Blessing of Kings for buffing. We have a Shattered Sun Cleric for some more buffing. Lots of Humility effects, so we can deal with a fair amount of big creatures, plus a whole bunch of Divine Shields just to be super obnoxious for our opponents. If I could take it all back, maybe I would have taken a Gurubashi Berserker or an Archmage in there. Maybe even the Lord of the Arena over the Shattered Sun Cleric might prove to have been a good move. We'll see. Luke Skywalker. This is a little bit early, so we're going to pass that back. And this is sort of removal, so that's fine. I'm going to get a bit greedy. I'm actually going to send back both of my 3-drops, hoping to get something a little bit better, and of course the Shield Master is always great to play on turn 4. Okay, well, we got our 1 late game card. Normally I'm not that happy seeing late game cards early on, but because it's just pretty much this and the Azure Drake as 5 mana and up, it's pretty nice to see that here. So the Blue Guild Warrior, not really playable against Druids, so I'll just kill it with the Shapeshift. So I can deal damage to my opponent, but it's obviously not that good. I'd rather kill something with it if I am going to play it. And otherwise, I'm really happy to play this on turn 2. Again, I think really this is just like one of the best hero abilities to play onto an empty board. You know, Mage deals 1 damage. Druid deals a damage. Warrior gains 2 life. This puts something on the board that's going to continually whack the opponent down. Now, he's spending most of his mana to cancel my hero ability, basically. So we trade off. But the thing is, this was his 3rd turn, whereas that was my 2nd turn. So I feel like I come out a little bit ahead there. Right, no need to use the coin here. Let's just go ahead and calmly play the Harvest Golem, since nothing has happened so far this game. We're on turn 4. There's been nothing going on. Seems alright. Now we do have our one little late gamer here. Hopefully he's not going to get taken care of. Alright, so the game plan here probably is going to be to play Alder Peacekeeper or the Senjin, kind of depending on what my opponent drops, and just basically ignore my opponent's plays as I start to beat his face in. Alright, Razorfen Hunter. Well, I think I'm just going to play the Senjin here. And let's actually take the time to kill off that little Borlet and pass the turn. So now I've got a little bit of a board presence here. This Razorfen Hunter holds up very badly against Ascension, so we'll see if my opponent can maintain the pressure.
Where shall I start?
He's going to make a taunter here. I don't have my silence, unfortunately. Oh my gosh, is my opponent really going to run into this engine? I love how you can see him pointing at my golem, like wishing he could attack it. Nope, you do have to attack taunt. Why are you pointing at your own creature, buddy? Okay, it looks like my opponent is going to just not do anything, which makes sense. This is a 4/6, so silencing it would get rid of the taunt, but not the actual stats. So let me think carefully here. I could play the Outdoor Peacekeeper. Make this a 1/6. Then I don't have enough mana to play True Silver Champion, but I could actually play Humility, make this a 1/6, and play True Silver Champion, smash, that would kill it. Kill off his... Right, actually I could just ignore his Razor Hunter, just swing for 3. That seems like a play I could make. Doesn't seem like the worst thing. Is there anything better I could do? I could use the Shattered Sun Cleric, buff this to a 4/6. And then I could swing at this and this. Okay, I think that's a good plan. Gonna buff this as follows. You know, I'm actually gonna coin out an Elder Peacekeeper as well, just to put less damage on my creatures. The reason for that is I've got Humility in my back pocket, so I don't mind being a little bit loose with my Humility effect, since I do have one more, plus the True Silver Champion for removal, plus Silence. I've got a very nice suite of answers here. So I don't mind using my coin. Now the disadvantage of that play is I used my coin, so I can't play the Stormwind Champion next turn, which I could have had I kept the coin. However, I put an extra 3/3 on the board. A couple of 3/3s, actually. Alright, he's going to silence my guy, making him a 3/5, which is fine. And he's going to make his guy, what, a 4/5? Alright. +2/+2 and taunt, that's pretty good. So now he can just kill whatever he wants, but instead he's going to hit me. I don't know how I feel about that plan, because it does... leave me with all my creatures on the board, which is a bit of a scary thing to do, generally. Let's think. I could silence this, it would become a 2/3. I could use True Silver Champion and smash into it, trade one of my golems, and smash him for 9. Or I could use Humility against it, swing 2 people into it. And then, and then use the True Silver Champion. Now the problem is, I don't want to use Humility on this, because then I am kind of screwed if my opponent like plays an Ironbark Protector or something. So what we're going to do is silence this thing. I can't play Humility, unfortunately, but let's go ahead and put this guy down. We're going to use that Divine Shield to pop that thing without taking any damage, and we're going to just actually ignore this guy. Swing, swing, swing. So this is a lot of damage that I've put on. Now my opponent's played no removal this game, really. He used the Keeper of the Grove to silence us, which is totally reasonable, but he then silenced it and then used his creature to attack me. You don't want to silence a taunt if all you're going to do is attack your opponent. You want to kill off your opponent's creatures. Alright, another Mark of the Wild on a Raging Worgen. Alright, that is a way of doing things. And he's going to kill off my Ardent Protector. Fair enough. He's also going to finish my Golem off. Okay, fair enough. Well, think carefully what I want to do here. I could play the True Sliver Champion, or excuse me, the Stormwind Champion. Two champions, very, very different. This would actually make the Spellbreaker kill his Worgen, and I would smash him for tons of damage. Yeah, we're going to do this. This guy's done his job. That's smashy. Let's count here. We have 12, 17 damage. I'm going to hedge my bets a little bit. I'm going to send this Golem in, take out that guy, just in case he has any more buffs. My opponent seems to really like those. The extra 3 damage from that Golem is not super likely to matter, because I have really ridiculous safety net here for killing off my opponent here. Naturalize! Alright, this is a pretty good answer for Stormwind Champion. So I do get to draw 2 cards, but he killed my creature for 1 mana. Also reduces the amount of damage I take. Alright, he's officially going to live now from what I have on the board. Little does he know that I have a True Silver Champion and 2 Chargers. Power of the Wild. Oh boy. This Druid, I think... I mean, he might have gotten a bad draw, he might have had a bad draft, but I think he was just a little bit too chumper nuggety in his draft. As a Druid, he should have been playing much bigger things than he was. Blight. Luke Skywalker. Was there like not enough room for an E? Was Luke Skywalker the full name taken? The world will never know. Alright, that was a pretty nice start to the arena. Very solid win as a Paladin, so you just play big things, and you do well. Alright, here's my new daily quest. That's good, I can actually beat both quests, provided I can get to at least 4 wins in this arena. That'll be another 80 gold, which I'll be very happy to have. So yeah, Paladins, I haven't found them to be the most consistent. It's hard to get above 7 wins for me anyway, as Paladin. But they're just so much fun. I love putting 1/1s under the board for free. And I love all like the pumping and the divine shielding and the humility stuff that they can do. I think the Paladins also have some really great class cards, like just True Silver Champion is a card that I bet every class wishes they would have. Like if I were a mage, I'd freaking love to play a True Silver Champion. That'd be great. Right, Pizza Pukurgu. Actually, I feel like I could do pretty well against this deck. Other than Stormwind Champion, there's not really a whole lot for my opponent to mind control. So that's cool. I think keeping him when I'm the first player is a little bit greedy. Like, yes, I'd love to have him, but just right now he's not so good. And that guy's not that great either. We're going to go ahead and keep the Noble Sacrifice, though. One problem with Paladins is that their secrets are extremely predictable. So whenever your Paladin plays a secret, you basically can't go wrong just assuming that it's Noble Sacrifice. But still, it might, slow my opponent down if he has, like, 2 toughness creatures or whatever that he attacks with. Maybe this can kind of kill him for 1 mana. Right, no need to play this guy here. I'll save him as a surprise. Let's just play a 1/1. This is the only removal I have in my hand at the moment, so I really, don't want to waste it unless I absolutely have to. Now, my opponent did not have a turn 1 Northshire Cleric, a fact about which I am extremely excited. Alright, here's the coin. What have we got for 3 mana? Tauren Warrior. Actually, that's pretty cool. So I am going to just calmly here play this bear and pass the turn. I could have also played this guy and then run my 1/1 into this to finish it off. But I figure this bear has a chance of just totally owning, like my 3-drop just can totally own his 3-drop. Ah, he's going to double his health. Well, that is a way of dealing with the situation. Notice, though, Divine Spirit, unlike Power Word Shield, doesn't draw a card, so if the creature dies, that is, in fact, just pure old card disadvantage. Alright, now if I run this bear in, my bear actually lives. The guy goes down to 3 health. I can throw the Bluegill Warrior down for 2 more damage, and that for 1 more damage. I could do that, but I do have Noble Sacrifice here kind of waiting in the wings, so what I might do instead is just play my Chillwind Yeti. If this guy attacks, he probably knows he's getting hit by Noble Sacrifice, and then I can use the Chillwind Yeti next turn. It's just to smash this guy's face in real good, and then finish him off with, say, a Bluegill Warrior. What are my other options? Well, let's see. If I play Chill Wind Yeti, he might attack in. He didn't last turn, but he might this turn, knowing it's a noble sacrifice, go down to 4 health, and then getting enraged. Then the Chill Wind Yeti feels kind of silly, because then it would just die, smashing into that guy. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to take this out right now. Let's just kill it. There's no point playing Humility because my stuff would die anyway. No point playing this other warrior. I'm just going to make a 1-1. Totally fine. Okay, so what's the situation here? I've got 6 cards on the board, and I do count these 1/1s as cards. I think they have enough board presence to count as cards. My opponent has 6 cards in his hand. He has spent his coin, which is good. I've got 2 pretty good 4-drops coming up, although too much further into the mid-game, and my drops are going to start getting a bit outclassed. Alright, he Thought Stole, which, I don't know, probably isn't going to be that great. Let's actually play the Violet Teacher here, so that Humility will give me a 1-1 when I play it later on. My opponent could have gotten a lot of tricky cards like Blessing of Kings or Granted Divine Shield and stuff like that, so I need to be careful about leaving creatures on the board. Such as that guy, for instance. Alright, he's going to double... God, what is up with this guy and doubling his minions' health? You know what's interesting? That actually is kind of a real problem for me. I've got 3, 6, 7 damage here, and Humility doesn't do anything. That's really funny. So this monkey is ready to kill my poor, poor bear, although I do have Noble Sacrifice to deal a couple of damage to it as well. Alright, well what we're going to do is play an Azure Drake, because you always want to draw cards first. Hand of Protection. Interesting. Yeah, we'll do this. Get a 3-1-1. Now here's the thing. I don't want to leave this guy around, because if my opponent does top deck a Shadow Word Pain, he can just kill it and then the Divine Shield is wasted, so I'm going to swing now. That's totally fine, but I still can't kill this thing. Maybe I'll swing at it one more time. Let's actually, yeah, I'll take a point of damage off. That's fine. We'll leave this guy around, though. There's no point throwing him away. So now this monkey is just a 1-2. I'm disrupting the combo. He's played 2 of these Divine Spirits. I wonder if he's trying to draft like the lots of Divine Spirit into Inner Fire type of deck. Oh yeah, I have Noble Sacrifice. That's right. That's right. So the monkey's going to die to the Noble Sacrifice. Does he have a Holy Nova here for me? I'd actually be fine with that. It would just kill some 1/1s on the bear, and the bear's done its job. True Silver Champion. Ah, very good card. So you'll get to kill my bear. That's my True Silver Champion. Jerk. And he's going to heal himself. Okay, well, this is actually where, you know, Mogushan Warden really shows his value. When you have a True Silver Champion, and there's all these, like, good creatures here, you just hate. You just absolutely hate seeing this in your way. Now, I could play this guy to give something Divine Shield, and I think what I'm actually going to choose as my target is the Azure Drake. And you might wonder, well, Boris, why are you putting that on the Azure Drake? The reason is that priests don't have any insta-kill spells for creatures with 4 power. So I know that my Divine Shield isn't going to get wasted. Also, as this is my hardest hitting creature, it's the most likely that the Divine Shield will be useful to pop off against something and kill it. So I'm in really good shape here. Mogushan Warden really paying for himself. This is why I like this card a lot. So I've got 2, 6, 7, 10, 11, actually 12 damage coming in, which is a lot. 14 if you count the Blue-Gill Warrior. Now my opponent's going to be able to survive that, but it's a lot of damage. Uh-oh, Mass Dispel. Well, that's a really good answer to everything, actually. It wasted my Divine Shield, my Taunt. I'm doing 4 less damage now than I'm supposed to. That's kind of sad. Mass Dispel, a very good card. I have to give him credit for drafting it. Okay, well, this is getting to be a little bit scary because if my opponent does just drop something gigantic on me, I could be in trouble. I'm totally fine with just bracing him down. Let's play the Yeti. That's the biggest thing I've got. And I can play only 1 more creature, actually. Well, that creature better be the Harvest Golem, then. It is sturdy. And at this point, I mean, all this stuff is kind of little, but my opponent is at 11 health, so he'd better have some damn good answers here. What is the best thing he could play? Well, Holy Nova would actually not kill that much. That's pretty good, actually. So Humility is useless against it, and it just gives me a lot of health that I have to chew through to get at my opponent. So it was a very good play for him. I wonder if he took it from my deck, or if he actually drafted it himself. It's impossible to tell. Does he have any more taunts? Ah, he has more taunts. Oh, geez. Well, my opponent's doing a pretty good job here holding the fort and killing off my creatures. Okay, can I get something helpful? Actually, yes. This is actually very helpful. This is going to be quite large. I'm gonna play this. Gonna kill this guy. Really no point humiliating this. All it affects is the Argent Protector. Then we're gonna do, let's see. Actually, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can actually keep this guy alive. Haha. Alright, get that guy out of the way.
This is my responsibility.
We'll swing ahead here. Make this. And you know what? Let's keep the pressure up. I'm actually gonna play this guy too. Swing in for some damage here. Now I could have tried to kill this guy to preserve my flesh-eating ghoul. That would have been an option for sure, but I feel like I've got a pretty decent odds of just being able to smash my opponent down with what I have here. Stone Tusk Boar, okay. Gonna kill my non-regenerating 2/1. Maybe it would have been worth it to play Humility on this, just so he couldn't kill my ghoul automatically with the Defender. That was perhaps a slight misplay. Because now, instead of having to work to kill this ghoul, he just gets to kill it for free. Well, let's see what he has for 8 mana. Holy Fire. Oh, that's actually a really good card. It kills my biggest creature and restores a lot of health. So I deal 6 damage a turn, but that's actually more than 2 turns away from killing him. Alright. You know what we're going to do? This might seem crazy, but I'm actually going to play Outdoor Peacekeeper. It has to be an enemy, right? Yeah. I just need to put creatures on the board and threaten my opponent's health. Because he could have really big cards here. So, it's important for me to just, it's just a 3/3 for 3. I'm sold. I need to put that onto the board. You have to make sure that you take care sometimes not to, like, go so crazy trying to make these battle cries work that you don't do what needs to be done. Now, that is actually quite unfortunate because he gets to kill one of my creatures and damage the Peacekeeper. But I will get this guy back, and he will be alive, which is kind of interesting. When you Shadow Madness something, that guarantees it doesn't die. Unless, of course, you'd, like, use a removal spell on it on your turn. I guess you could do that, yeah. So you can actually kill this, but I'll have to work for it. Nightblade. Wow, this is one of the most terrible cards in the game. Alright, do I just win now? I think I just win, don't I? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. My opponent needed to actually heal himself instead of playing that Nightblade. If I didn't draw anything else, which I didn't, he would have had one more turn to get it out. Okay. Well, we got 2 games with Paladin or Priest. Woo! And I believe we also got that new quest. That's really probably the best quest in the game. I believe there's one that's like win 7 games with any class and it's 100 gold. That's probably the best quest in the game because you only get 1 quest per day, and so then you get 100 gold that day. Like, you're going to win 7 games over the next 3 days before your daily quests fill out. So that's probably the best one, although I've never actually gotten it. Never been lucky enough. Anyway, but that's 2 wins. So pretty good start with this Paladin. Win or lose, post him on YouTube Arena Run. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do please like and or subscribe. And the rest of the videos will be coming soon. I always say the rest of the videos. The rest of the games are going to be coming soon. If you like how this arena is going and want to see how it ends, we shall see you shortly.